Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. Now, it is kind of a recording session, but not a regular recording session. It has been a couple of days since the end of the League of Explorers, and we've gotten new cards because of that, and it's time for deck rebuilds again. So today we are going to be doing the mage, figuring things out. So let's see. Mage deck, I have it on the Hearthstone deck tracker as it is right now. Uh, our mage deck is pretty much completely just surrounded around the concept of doing as much damage as possible. So let's see, make a new mage deck this way, I believe is the right way to do this. And then let's see what we've got. I guess I'm having trouble trying to figure out where I should put the window. I'll just minimize it. It still works on the Hearthstone deck tracker. If you minimize it after you start recording, I guess that doesn't really matter to many people. The easiest thing to do would be to start with just the League of Explorer cards and see what we got. We got Forgotten Torch, deals 3 damage, shuffles a Roaring Torch into your deck that deals 6 damage. The League of Explorers has a lot of cards like this where you really could only play them at the very end, and it's not really worth it. Interesting card back, too. Just now we're getting like default card backs for specific cards. When did this start happening? Interesting. Next one we got is animated armor. There's no reason why you wouldn't play animated armor. It is amazingly overpowered. Your hero can only take 1 damage at a time. So definitely that's going in the deck. And then Ethereal Conjurer, which discovers the spell. Discover again being you're given 3 random options, and you can you pick one. Discover as a concept is not very useful at all, because for example for this you're going to get 3 random spells between all the classes. If it said discover a spell of your class, at least that would kind of make sense, but since this is a mage only card, then it still doesn't kind of make, it doesn't help. So I don't think I'd play this because it's really weak for that discover ability. It is incredibly infuriating to me still. I'm getting over it very slowly, but this card in particular should have been a Warlock card. It makes so much more sense that they came out with this and it was a Warlock only card. It makes no sense that this is a Mage card. That just makes Mage even easier for new people to play. And making Mage easier to play isn't going to get it into like tournament play, I don't feel like. Alright, so now we need to kind of look at just the general things that the general neutral cards that League of Explorers came about. Now I know there is some Murlocs, but I really don't think there'd be any reason why you would want that. Let's see, Battle Cry. I don't think there's gonna be a heavy Battle Cry deck. I mean, I might try it on a different character, but I don't think the mage. Ancient Shade is another one of these cards that you really shouldn't play. Eerie Statue, again, not really a great card. The problem with Eerie Statue is that you have to play it on the 4th turn, and it can only attack if it's the only minion on either side of the battlefield. So it seems really unrealistic that that would happen. Shuffle the map to the golden monkey into your deck. I am gonna play this card in somebody's deck, but not the mage deck, because all we really need, since the mage is at max level, is a decent mage deck in case we need to play it. But we're almost never going to play it. So this is more just about showing what I would build with the cards that I have now. Than actually using it. Let's see. So we're gonna look for things mostly that cycle around spells. So here the summoning stone is an interesting thought. So I will take the summoning stone. It has, whenever you cast a spell, summon a random minion that costs the same. Now it's random, and pretty much anything with random in it is probably not a great deck concept, but it's something to think about. Now Reno Jackson here is an interesting concept too. If your deck contains no more than one of any card, fully heal your hero. Now with Hearthstone Deck Tracker, you would know exactly when to play this, assuming it and Hearthstone itself were working correctly, which is somewhat of a big assumption these days. But I don't see a reason why I'd put him in the deck right now. However, in the future, like a year from now, 2 years from now, when there are so many cards that are so good, it could very easily get down to a situation where you only squeeze one of each card in your deck, and then you put this guy in there because he's a guaranteed full heal to your hero. Let's see. Don't think I'd play that. If you control a beast, no. Discover a powerful artifact. Again, I will try that later. So, of the League of Explorers cards, 2 are all I'm willing to put in here. But other things have happened lately too. Absolutely, other things have happened. Let's see. This is an uncraftable, that's why it's gold. So, I've gained Effigy secret when a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion that costs the same. I don't think I'd do that. I think you're probably better with duplicate if you wanted one of those. Mirror entity, something we don't use anymore. Polymorph, I feel like Polymorph is a good card to have. Spell damage +1, Firewalker. Add a random spell to both hands. Vaporize, I will keep. We definitely want the deal more damage. See, with this card, where is it? Where'd it go? Polymorph Boar. For 3 mana, you change a boar to a 4/2 with charge. For 4 mana, you would transform it into a 1/1 sheep. It's cheaper to just transform an enemy into this and kill it. You're almost certainly going to have something with 2 attack, and you can kill it that way. At least, I think that's what's going to be doing. I want to play with this, because when it's inspired, it gains spell damage +1. Now, in theory, that should mean it continuously gains that, but I haven't seen it done in practice yet. So every time I use a Fire Blast, this should get another spell damage +1, in theory. 8 damage to a minion, no, but I will take Dragon's Breath 2 damage to all minions or 4 damage to all minions. I think Flame Strike is better. Discover spell, no. So then we kind of just want spell damage. So if I just type spell here, we can start with our 2 minions here. Whenever you cast a spell, gain +2 attack this turn. That's not useful. Whenever you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to everything. I don't think that's really useful. If you have a minion with spell damage, gain +2/+2. I'll take that. Why not? Give adjacent spell damage or spell damage +1. I think I'll take this guy. He's not new, is he? He's Grand Tournament new. I have no spells that would where I'd cast it on myself. This guy I'll definitely take. Spell damage +1 and draw a card. And then spell damage. This, whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. I don't think I would want to do that. And then add 2 random spells to your hand. I'll take... Oh, nope, I'm at 30. So, there was something else that wasn't spell damage related that I was going to include. Right now I am at the lowest thing I can summon is a 2, and I want to throw in an owl too. I feel like there should be at least an owl in here. So let's see. I guess I'll get rid of Vaporize. And I may get rid of Polymorph Boar. It's not really a great deck right now. It doesn't feel like there's just like no 1 mana or 0 mana creature that revolves around playing a spell. I should put the Lowly Squire in here instead, just because I need something that could be played on the first turn if I go first. Discover a new basic hero power. There is a card, I don't believe I have it, that will upgrade your hero power. And I think that would be cool. I don't know why I would want to play this in Mage though. Mage's hero power is kinda useful. Kinda. Of course I'd take the Hunter's hero power over it. Let's see. Do 2 damage to the face every time. That's really where you start getting into some real weirdness, is that there probably is a way to play like the mage, get a different hero power that would then combine, and then that hero power plus all the cards that are exclusive to the mage or some other class would become very overpowered. I don't know exactly how you would do that, but that's what I'm thinking, is that there's probably something in there. So I'm going to take out this polymorph boar and put in one owl. And we have fireball that does 6 damage. And that is pretty much it. I'll take out a flame strike, put in another owl. 2 owls. What other cards would we even think about doing? See, we're definitely getting to that level where there's too many cards, too many options, not enough slots. I'd almost like to see them make a new style of gameplay where you could have 60 cards in your deck, because I think I could probably fill out 60 cards in our deck pretty easily and have more fun and play more cards, which is kind of what we would like. I must have just gotten Silent Night because I don't remember seeing him, but he's a Grand Tournament card. And there's tons of things like, I probably need this in here. So what am I willing to get rid of? So I'm gonna get rid of Frigid Snowball and put in Defender of Argus instead. So that's 2 cards with spell damage plus 1 gone. To in exchange give +1/+1 and taunt things, because there's literally no other way to get taunt in this deck right now. And I think this is intentional for mage decks and mage cards, is that it is supposed to be all about just getting characters out there and doing spell damage as fast as possible, and not think about defense, and not really think about any secrets that are traps. I don't think there really are that many secrets that are traps. I would have half a mind to just do a Murloc deck on the mage, just because that's not really gonna be staying close to its thing. So I'm gonna take out let's take out the Archmage, and I'm gonna put in instead the Antique Healbot for health, because there's no heal cards in this deck. I mean, when you really start to think about it, when you really start to look at it, what the mage deck points you to is just not a realistic strategy. It's not even touching aspects of this game. It's not healing, it's not taunting, it's not trapping, it's not doing 3 card combinations. The only real card combinations you can do is more spell damage. More spell damage and more spell damage. Let's see. So let's go ahead and take this guy out and put in this, because I think Muka's champion is better. And so more and more this deck is getting removed of it, the classic cards that you would normally think of, and instead is just using neutral cards. Eventually, maybe all decks will be 100% neutral cards, because they will have worked their way up the power creep line, and the classic cards wouldn't have caught up. Let's see, what else? Anything else here that we want? I'm not sure. We're getting into the really high level cards, which it would be nice. It would be nice if we could throw in something like Kel'Thuzad, which no real reason why you'd use it in this deck. Or, let's see, Archdief Rapham. I don't know what that does. So do I want to take a Flame Strike out and just play it? I think we might. I think we might just experiment with it. So, normally I would keep the Flame Strike, but I'm gonna take it out and put this in. And that, by taking the Flame Strike out, that means there's no spells in here that actually then kill everybody. So something really would need to be taken out. Like, let's see. I'll take the Soot Spewer out, and I'll go find the Flame Strike again and put that in. There it is. Put one of those in. So then the last thing we want to look at is just, let's go into crafting mode and see what we would add if we could. Arcane Blast, deal 2 damage to a minion. The spell gets double bonus from spell damage. Okay, I'd absolutely have that card. What is that? Grand Tournament. I would totally play that. Double bonus from spell damage. Ice Block. When your hero takes damage, prevent it from and become immune. Possibly play that card, but probably not. Put a copy of each friendly minion into your hand. I don't think I'd play that. Adjacent minions can't be targeted. Don't think I'd play that. You can use your hero power any number of times. I might play this card since it's a dragon and it's a 6 mana, 6 attack, 6 health. But it's not really giving you a lot with its ability. At most on your 10th turn you could use your hero ability 5 times, unless you use this in combination with the other cards that lowers the cost of playing your hero ability down to 1. Then on your 10th turn you could use it as 10 times, which that's quite a lot actually. So if you're going to play this card, play the other card that's out there that will lower the cost of your hero ability. Whenever you cast a spell, add a fireball to your hand. Totally would have this guy in my deck if I had him. Whenever you draw, deal 2 damage to your character. Probably wouldn't have this in your deck. I don't know why the Flame Leviathan is a mage card, particularly. That should probably be a neutral card. They keep doing this, putting weird cards as mage only. Ronin, add 3 copies of Arcane Missiles to your hand. I would totally play him in a spell damage deck because 3 more copies of Arcane Missiles could do a lot. And then Pyroblast is super expensive, so I would have to consider it. It would be a big consideration to play Pyroblast. 10 mana to do 10 damage. Let's see. This guy's a spell damage +1 for 2. Totally would have him in my deck. At the start of your turn, destroy all enemies. I would use him in some deck. I'm not sure if Mage one would be one of them. You can use your hero power twice. Maybe I'd have him in my deck. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a copy in the other player's hand. I probably wouldn't have him in a mage deck. Enemy spells cost 0 next turn. Probably not. 50% of getting an extra card. Probably not. Destroy a minion with 7 or more. Probably not. All minions lose Divine Shield. Probably not. Whenever you target a minion with a spell, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Absolutely. I would totally love that. Although with Arcane Missiles, you wouldn't actually be targeting anybody, so it wouldn't work with Arcane Missile. It would only work with other spells, so. Oh no, it's whenever you target this minion with a spell, deal 3 damage to it. So, if I was going to play this, actually, I would have to have a whole different type of spells that would power up. And I'm not sure the mage is the right character to have that character. Whenever you target this minion with a spell, Divine Shield, I would play that card in the same kind of deck I would play this card. But I'm still not sure that's a mage deck. Take note, I have almost all the neutral cards unlocked now. That is a pretty good feeling. At least the early ones. We're making great progress towards getting everything unlocked. Doubt I'd play him. Whenever you play a card with Battlecry, gain +1/+1. Probably wouldn't play him. No, not very many Battlecry characters in the mage. Not a lot of Wind Fury. No Wind Fury in the mage deck. Not a lot of Battlecry. No Taunt. No Divine Shield. Probably wouldn't play him. This one, let's see. Mini Mage. Stealth and spell damage +1. I think that you might play that one. You'd have to compare it to something like this that does spell damage +1 but has more health but does less damage. So I'd probably play Mini Mage if I had it over the Snowbolt. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and taunt. That's more for a dragon deck. We never really did get around to making a dragon deck, so one of these characters, if I run into like a selection that just doesn't look good, and I've already made the Murloc deck for another character, a dragon deck would be a good experimental deck. Wouldn't play that. Again, since this one just gives you random cards, this is one of those decks where you need to play this card a lot just to realize what the power to rock with a power chord card, what power chord cards are available. Faceless Manipulator. I don't think it would do very well in a mage deck. I probably wouldn't play it. Wouldn't play that. Probably wouldn't play this. I don't know if Harrison Jones in particular is gonna stay around in the high level play much longer. It never strikes me as being a super useful card. I think the issue here is that for legendary it's cheap and it gives you a 5/4, and then it also has this ability where you could destroy an opponent's weapon and draw the cards equal to its durability. So there's like a 1/7 weapon out there. If you played that, you would get 7 cards, which would probably end up being too many, but yeah, I think I can see why you would have it in your deck if you just didn't have any other 5 cards. It would be an interesting thing to do just all legendary cards and nothing but legendary cards in your deck and see if you can really win that way. I doubt it's actually the case right now. Leroy Jenkins. I think Leroy Jenkins is going to stay around in high level play a lot more than Harrison Jones is. It's almost exactly the same attack and health. Well, the health is 2 here, 4 here, 6 attack versus 5 here. But this guy has charge, and I think for the final move, the move that's going to win you the game, Leroy Jenkins is going to stay around. Matter Bomber, I'm still not sure what kind of deck you would really want these crazy people that can hurt your own character, but the mage deck might be a good one to actually play him in. If the mage is all about just doing 1 damage every time. With the Fire Blast, Matter Bomber would help do some more damage. Let's see. Whenever your hero takes damage, this minion takes it instead. Well, with the arcane armor so that you only take 1 damage, I would love to play those 2 cards at the same time and see what really happens. So I would definitely try this out with the current deck if I had it. Wouldn't play that. Whenever you cast a 1-mana spell, add a random mech to your hand. No, probably wouldn't play that. I don't have a ton of 1-mana spells. I don't know if I have any. Summon an awesome invention. Add a random paladin to your hand. Again, I don't know what awesome inventions are available, so I'd have to play with it to figure out if it was any good. Replace your starting hero power with a better one. Totally would have this card. In fact, I'm not sure if you wouldn't want to have this card in every deck. I think every single deck you can think of, that is probably a great card to do. I don't think you can duplicate that ability though. I don't think if you had like your battle cry triggers twice enabled by the other characters, that you could take the cost of a Fire Blast down from 2 mana to 1 mana to free. I don't think it works that way, and I don't even know if that is the better improvement. It may very well be that the cost stays the same for Fire Blast, it just does more damage. So you kind of have to play it just to know what a better version means. All minions have a 50% chance of hitting the wrong enemy, not really useful, although for the mage deck that has so few taunt creatures, it might be a consideration. If you could just put an ogre out there that would just say, well, everybody's gonna start hitting the wrong thing, that would be interesting. And when everything has a 50% chance of attacking, does that mean something like this has a 25% chance of hitting the wrong enemy, or a 75% chance of hitting the wrong enemy, I guess would be the right way to go with that number? I don't believe that's the case, but it might be how it's calculated. That would kind of stink. A coin flip I could live with, but if 3/4 of the time it hits the wrong person, that would be crazy. Copy your opponent's hero power? Maybe, but probably not. Not for the mage. I don't think that really changes enough, and it's too random. This card, I think I would rather discover a new hero power or just be given a random hero power as a character than to copy your opponent's, because you just never know what your opponent's is gonna be. Take control of a random enemy. Maybe. I guess that puts something new in the mage deck, something different that could happen versus all the other cards that pretty much end up doing the same things. It would be surprising to your opponent if you had something like that. See, at the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other characters. Maybe? It all just kind of it all kind of just is based on what kind of deck you're building. But I don't think really in a mage you would do that card. Boom, Dr. Boom here. Let's see. Yeah, there is no reason why you would why you wouldn't play Dr. Boom. He's one of the most powerful cards right now. He's a 7 attack, 7 health for 7. And he summons 2/1/1 boom bots that may explode, and I think when they die, they do like 4 damage at random to a random enemy. I think the face too, not just a random minion. So no reason why you wouldn't play Dr. Boom. Absolutely. Sky Captain Crag, probably not going to do a pirate deck for the mage. Unless I was just screwing around with it. No, wouldn't play that. Wouldn't play that. Nope. Nope. Maybe play this. I always kind of think about this one, just if you could get the hero down to 15 health, well then it wouldn't take much more as far as spells. Absolutely would play Malgos. Spell damage plus 5 is totally what you want. Player has only have 15 seconds to play their turn. I don't feel like this one is actually that useful of a card. Summon whelps to fill your field. No, wouldn't play that. Alright, so Frost Giant is an interesting concept. Cost 1 less for each time you used your hero power. I could see playing this in a standard mage deck, but also you could make a heavily focused hero power deck where you could get your hero power to only cost 1. You could play the character to play it as many times as you want. So assume you were on the 10th turn, you had the character summoned that said your hero ability only costs 1 and you can use it as many times as you want in a turn. You could potentially on your 10th turn, if this was in your hand, do 10 damage to the face through using Fire Blasts. Then for free summon this and then attack with those 2 characters. Of course that is a really late game strategy, and I would still consider having this in the deck, but it's not. Any of these late 10 mana things are probably cards you don't ever want to actually have to use. Let's see. I don't think I'd play any of those. So, with that, that is what the mage deck is going to be. Alright, so remember you are looking at the Hearthstone deck tracker with the old deck. I can't. It would take too long to put in the new deck. I will do that off screen. So we'll see what happens when we pop up here. Let's play at least one game with this, and then that's gonna be this entire episode. Wow, 38 minutes just to rebuild the deck. So I can make a full thing. So we'll use the active deck and
versus Thrall for Doomhammer.
So this is gonna be a little interesting. As far as seeing which cards are the same versus which cards are different. So I have both copies of the new cards. I'm definitely got all the new cards that I put in my deck here from the League of Explorers. Unfortunately, I did not get any 1 or even 2 mana creatures. So without something, you're gonna have a considerable amount of trouble. You're gonna have to wait till your 2nd turn to do 1 damage at most without getting lucky for a 1 mana creature. Now there is like a secret that summons 2/0/2 taunts. I thought about playing that, but I didn't. So if I can get to the 10th turn, I can at least play that.
We're using real swords.
Job's done.
I probably should have left that one alive so I could bring this down. Well, let's see. If I play this, we're gonna be in an interesting scenario.
We're using real swords.
What you want?
Let's play this. Let's see, how much damage does this do for? I could play this.
I wonder.
Let's do this. If I kill 2 more, I could play this and do this. Let's see, 2 more, get that down to 2, that'd leave it at 1.
We're using real swords.
Job's done.
There we go.
Handle it!
Wow. Not doing great against this guy. Here we go. Exactly who I need, and this is why I think the silence is so useful. Let's see, play this one or play this one
Job's done.
in the turn. So in this game, that card didn't really help as much as you would have liked, but it did cause him to focus quite a lot of attention on killing very specific spinning spells and attacking them. So it is a scary card at the very least. Let's see.
Job's done.
Healbot is totally the right move to play.
Get behind me.
I'm getting overwhelmed by guys though. I need like a flame strike to come out. If I have a flame strike, I could potentially turn it around here. But this,
Two heroes enter. One hero leaves.
and this. Let's go ahead and kill this guy in the turn. Actually, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that because now this guy's just gonna get healed. And I've lost. Now, did I lose this game because of the cards I picked, or did I lose this game just because the mage is still a terrible character to play with after you've started to actually learn strategy of Hearthstone? Nobody plays mage. We'll try one more game. At least one more. Yeah, nobody plays mage is just inherently the problem. The cards are too straightforward. There's no finesse. When you look at my current priest deck versus what the mage does, there's just no cards that are working with each other. Spell damage +1 sort of works with spells, but not really.
Victory or death!
You asked for it.
Alright, so ideally I'd still want to bring out the 1 mana guy, but I think I'll have to play this. Your opportunities to play anything on the first or second turn are very limited in this deck, just because they don't have anything. I need to put some more spells early on. So yes, I can play this guy, which is who I want to play. I wish there was some kind of mage version, spell damage +1 version of a 1 mana creature, but we don't see it. I haven't seen it. So I have to play Lowly Squire. He's gonna play Acidic Swamp Ooze for really no reason. There's Flame Strike. Let's see. I'm gonna attack this guy. Inspire this guy.
We're using
attack this
real
guy
swords.
in the turn. So what do I want to do? I want to do this, play this, and play this.
We're using
and then attack
real
this.
swords.
Job's done.
Since we're just trading blow for blow, he seems not to be too interested in actually doing anything, which is fine by me. I can play this next turn, play this the turn after that. Oh, maybe he was just waiting for that. See, well, I can't do that right now. I guess I'll play this instead of this one. I guess that makes more sense. Now, potentially gonna get a spare part when we kill this guy, if we kill this guy. Alright, deal 6 damage to kill this one. And then kill that one. That would get this down. Not enough. Let's try this. We need to play this just right though. Deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies.
Flame on.
Kill this guy. Deal 6 damage here. And then give him stealth. Why not?
Job's done.
Oh yeah, if this guy just doesn't attack ever again.
Time runs out on me.
Stealth until the next turn. Well then why does he not look stealth? Ooh, I think I broke the stealth. I don't know if he is in stealth or not. It doesn't look like he is.
Man, if that'd gone a little bit differently, I would have been able to kill him. So that did break stealth. Interesting. But that could have gone a lot differently. Let's see if I kill that guy. Let's do this. And then do this.
Job
And
done.
then that's the turn. So we've got a couple of cards here that work kind of in this together. Restore 8 health twice.
Take the hit.
Only take 1 damage. Let's see. Play this. Attack this. If he is gonna attack with that, he's gonna suffer for it. Maybe they're thinking in having the animated armor be a mage only card is the fact that the mage is just so bad a class. It just has, it's just, we're trying to help you a little bit. Can I do Flame Strike and anything else? No. Let's see. I can do this and this. This.
Job's done.
I can end the turn. Alright, I'm hoping he summons these two, this card too. Anything else? It's a silly hope, but I needed to do this. So, Flame Strike should be this ultimate devastating scenario where he's played all his cards and now he has nobody on the field. I just don't know if that's really the case.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
He has 14 cards, I have 17. This could potentially go to a deck scenario if he can't figure out a way to do a few more pieces of damage. Yeah. So 10th turn. So here's what I have to do to try to even save my bacon. Is just get back up to 18. And that's only going to save me for a couple of turns. So, yes, inherently, I really haven't improved the mage deck much with the League of Explorers, and I don't think they've really improved it much with the League of Explorers. It's
What
just
now?
the mage needs a whole new set of cards to really be useful. Cards that can deal with all the strategies and the other heroes. Alright. We have 12. We need to... I believe Muko's champion won't save us completely. But we'll try. let's see. If I kill this guy, or if I do this.
Running the program.
Job done.
Interesting. Alright. So I'm wearing them down.
Special delivery!
But he's wearing me down a lot more. Wow. Not really working, is it? It's not really working. So, ideally I'd want some kind of spell, which I don't really have any spells that are of any real use. I'd want to be able to play this, play a spell, maybe bring this out, maybe play this. He's at 31 health effectively, I'm at 12. He has 12 more cards, so if I could potentially just keep him on the rails, that might work.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Let's see, cost one less for each of that. Give a minion taunt. I was hoping he would hit that guy.
Job done.
Well, that worked. So I want like a 3 mana spell would be the best thing right now. Some 3 mana spell that could kill this creature, or a 3 mana creature would be alright too.
I wonder.
I don't know what that would be. And that's how you kind of know your deck is terrible. When you're thinking to yourself, well, I know there's some nebulous 3 mana characters that I'd like to have, but I don't know what that card is. And because I don't know what that card is, let's see. I believe this will work.
Flame on. Job done.
Interesting. He's about to run out of cards. He has 9 cards left.
Dingo. Yes.
Let's see. This.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot.
And then, do I want to, let's see, I guess I want to do this, so I can then play this.
2 heroes enter, 1 hero leaves.
And with that, we'll kill this one, and with that one, we'll kill this one. He has like 9 cards left. So the question is, in his 9 cards, can he do 12 damage? And maybe he can. I kind of need to be able to heal myself or do something to protect myself. So spell damage +1, but it just says your spell cards deal 2 extra damage, is what it says.
So,
Interesting.
here's where you're wrong.
Ready to rock.
I think they may have fixed that. So it should say next turn after we inspire again, spell damage +3. Assuming he can't do 2 damage. Seems like I'm gonna win here, but I have to admit this guy has played terrible to allow me to even play it this much. Just terrible.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Here we go.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
I learn.
Spell damage +3. There we go. So this guy, totally you do want him in your deck. You totally do. Let's just see if we can run him out. It's no real big deal if
Ready to rumble!
Let's see. I'm just gonna leave him at 2
Here's where you're wrong.
and then end the turn. Just let him play his last 6 cards. I'll give him an opportunity to win. If any of his last 6 cards can do 2 damage to my face, he will win. If any of his last 6 cards have charge, he will win.
What
Because
now?
I have no taunt creatures. I have no defense. If I could get the other arcane armor, which I may have already played both of them, if there's one more in my deck and I play it, then that would do it. But no, he's won. I could have won, but I let him, and it doesn't matter. So, yes. That is a true-ish to class mage deck we've made. Somewhat true. What we probably would do is need is mirror image. So let's take that in. And then I never saw this work. So I'm gonna kind of leave it to play with it. But in realistic terms, I would take these 2 out and I would put in Lonely Squire. Let's see, mirror image, totally. 2 owls, sure. Spell damage +1, spell damage just +1. This guy kind of is helpful. This one I think is a good card for a mage deck. This one's alright, I guess. Fireball is kind of weak, but it's really the only options you have. Taunt, let's see. So the ones I'm not sure about are the Summoning Stone and the Archthief Reform, but we never got to play with them. Mana Worm, why didn't I put a Mana Worm in here? Yeah, I should put that in there. There we go, Mana Worm. There's a 1 mana creature you can summon on the first turn instead of Lonely Squire. Deal 1 damage to everybody? Sure, why not? Because that could be more. Maybe Flame Cannon. The problem is the 30. It almost feels like you should take only 1 of every card and then bring out that guy that will refill your health to maximum. If you did do that, that would be strange strategy, but it might work. But in general, I just don't see enough strategies. There's just not a lot here. I would probably put a pirate deck or a murloc deck as the mage. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna keep as my mage deck since I'm already at level 60. Anyways, almost never gonna play it. we're at max level. It's no surprise I got to level 60 on the mage deck. That's the first deck you start with. It's going to be the best deck you have until you start getting a lot of cards. So obviously you're going to get max level on that. Next deck I'm going to do is going to be the Paladin deck because I managed to work that one up to max level, and then the Priest deck, which I'm not sure how much I'm really even going to change my Priest deck, but that'll be interesting to see if we can improve it any more than it already is. It's kind of my best, it's my best deck right now. Not even kinda, totally is. So I don't want to make a lot of changes to it. The Priest is at like level 55 right now. 56, maybe. And so only 4 more levels and it will be at max level 2. And then I need to start working on some other character. Anyways, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. Sorry if this really isn't your cup of tea. I won't really be probably talking about my life or blogging for the next next week or so of videos, because each video is just going to be one of these. So we have 8 more videos of deck rebuilds. Just going to focus on that. If you want to support me, which would be greatly appreciated, you can help me by clicking on my name, Rydo. That gets you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.